Our intended audience is grade 4. Our learning objective is to analyze and classify triangles based on side length, angle measure, or both. I'm sure that we all understand what a triangle is, but what we're trying to figure out is what kind of triangles that there are. Do you think that there is more than one type of triangle, or do you think that there is only one type of triangle? If you said that there are more than one type of triangles, you'd be correct. There are many different kinds of triangles. Right here we have the isosceles triangle, and we'll get into why it's different than the other triangles later. Here we have an equilateral triangle. We'll also get into why it's an equilateral triangle. Here we have an obtuse triangle. Right here we have a right angle triangle. This is as well a right angle isosceles triangle. Lastly, we have an acute triangle. It's important to know the difference between all of these. Now, to explain why these are all different, our equilateral triangle is considered equal because they're congruent on all three sides, as well as the angles being congruent. Our isosceles triangle is considered congruent on two sides, and that means that one of the angles will be 90 degrees. So if you see that two of the sides are equal and one angle is 90 degrees, you know that it's an isosceles triangle. Lastly, we have our scalene triangle. Scaling means that none of the sides are equal. These three triangles are the main subjects of triangles. These triangles are what differs in the angles of each triangle. If you're looking at an obtuse triangle, you have to know that an obtuse triangle has an angle that is more than 90 degrees. If you're looking at your right triangle, you have to realize that your right triangle will have a right angle of 90 degrees exactly. If you're looking at your acute triangle, you have to realize that all angles are going to be less than 90 degrees. If I were to ask you what kind of triangle this would be, what would you say it would be? If you said it was an equilateral triangle, you'd be correct. The reason you would know that is because every angle is 60 degrees, which means they're equal, which makes it an equilateral triangle. Based on angles, if I were to ask you what this triangle was, what would you say it would be? It would be an acute triangle. The reason why it would be an acute triangle is because each one of these degrees are less than 90. If they were 90 degrees, it would be considered a right triangle. Now it's your turn to determine the triangle as well as the angles. Give it a try. For the first one, if you said that the first one was an isosceles triangle, you'd be correct. But why? The reason that it's an isosceles triangle is because the two angles are congruent. These are both 45 degrees, and this angle makes up 90 degrees, which makes it an isosceles triangle. Now, what did you say for the angle? If you said that it was right, you would also be right. Reasoning why is because this angle right here is equal to 90 degrees. And it's not anything more than 90 degrees, which would make it obtuse if it was. What did you get for the next one? If you said equilateral triangle, you'd be correct. What did you get for the next one? If you said that it was scalene and acute, you'd be correct. The reason why is because none of the angles will be equal. None of the sides are equal either. What did you get for the last one? If you also said equilateral again, you'd be correct. All of these sides are equal. They're just not labeled. Our equilateral triangles are considered acute. Reason why is because each angle is smaller than 90 degrees, which makes that an acute angle. Now I hope we're clear on what the difference is between the side length of triangles and the angle measure of triangles.